Hey everybody, welcome back to ChrisThoughts. I know it's been a little while since I've posted anything, and I just wanted to take a second to explain why that is. Over the past little while, I decided to take a bit of a break from YouTube without really telling anyone. I'm sure you all noticed. This was mostly because of personal reasons. I had stuff going on in my life, and I was just very busy, and I didn't really think that YouTube was a massive priority for me. But the other main reason was that I wanted to take the time to figure out what I wanted to do on this channel. I know I've made a few videos now, and I've made a couple of jokes about not really knowing what this channel is and about the freedom that gives me. But at the same time, it made it kind of difficult to decide what I wanted the format of my videos to be, because I hadn't decided on what I was doing. So I took a little while, and I eventually came up with the brilliant idea that what I can do on the channel is give my thoughts and opinions on things. Almost like Chris's thoughts, as it were. So without any further ado, let's roll the intro and just jump right into it. So if you clicked on this video, you probably saw the title and the thumbnail, that today we're going to be talking about the confusion that exists in music today between what is different and what is actually good. Part of the reason I'm talking about this today is because this past week I was working with a bunch of kids who were, between 8 and 10 years old, and we put on some music for the kids, and two of the songs that came on were Billie Eilish's Bad Guy and Old Town Road by Lil Nas X. I hate both of these songs with a passion. When the songs came on, what the kids immediately said was,
"I love this song is so great. Oh, I love Billie Eilish. It's so amazing, she's so good."
Now, I know these are just kids. I know kids are easily influenced and are prone to making exaggerations. So that doesn't annoy me. What annoys me is the adults who listen to Billie Eilish's music or Old Town Road and say, "This is the most amazing thing I've ever heard." So in today's video, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be breaking this down into 3 parts. In the first 2 parts, I'm going to talk a little bit about each of these artists and their songs, and why I personally don't like them all that much and think they're a bit overrated. And then in the last part, I'll talk about why they are so overrated in general and what's kind of happening in the music industry today. Before we get into that though, I just want to do a real quick disclaimer that everything I'm about to say is completely my own opinion. If you like these songs and you like both of these artists and their music, that's totally fine. I am in no way an expert on music or on the music industry. I'm not a musician. I'm not a music critic. I am not a music producer. I have nothing to do with music. I'm just someone who likes to listen to it and someone who likes to give my opinion when no one asked for it. So if you disagree with everything I'm about to say, that's fantastic. Please don't hate me and feel free to listen to the music. These are just my opinions. So for starters, let's talk about Billie Eilish, whose full name is Billie Eilish Pirate Baird O'Connell, which is amazing. I don't care what you think from music, that's just a really cool name, and I appreciate it. So what makes her different? What makes her stand out? In my opinion, Billie Eilish in a large part stands out because of her persona more than her music. She doesn't subscribe to the typical pop star formula of sexualizing herself and writing vapid songs about boys and about partying and about high school and stuff like that. Her songs tend to be a bit more abstract, a little bit darker, and her persona tends to be a bit more emo, depressed kind of vibes. So that's what makes Billie Eilish different. But what makes her good? The problem is, when I was researching for this video, I listened to about 5 or 6 of Billie Eilish's most popular songs in an effort to better understand why people like her. And I couldn't actually find that there was anything inherently amazing about these songs from a musical perspective. Billie Eilish's voice might be great, but usually she's just mumbling or whispering. or sort of softly singing in a way that you can't really tell if she has an amazing voice or not. Her voice is also usually obscured by a very loud, intrusive background track, which is generally very simplistic, not very layered or complex or new or original, and she seems to be more popular for her disturbing and slightly unsettling music videos than anything. Just to be clear, I don't think her music is terrible. I don't think it's inherently awful or bad. It's certainly not as bad as some of the other music that's come out in the past few years. But at the same time, I don't think it's inherently amazing. I don't think she's the next Beethoven. I don't think she's broken the mold. I don't think she's doing something that nobody else could possibly do. I think that she's just different from what people are used to when it comes to pop music. So Lil Nas X. Lil Nas X, we might as well just talk about the one song he's known for, Old Town Road. Old Town Road came out in December of 2018, and somehow, defying all music rules in the industry today, it's still popular and still relevant in August of 2019, 7 months later. So how did this happen? Why is Old Town Road such an incredibly popular and successful song that skyrocketed Lil Nas X to the pinnacle of fame and wealth and just being a household name? What was it about this song? Well, the song itself, in my opinion, is good. It's an okay song, especially if you listen to the original. It's not great, but it's not bad either. Kind of like Billie Eilish. It has a fairly decent backing track that he actually purchased from a music producer. He didn't make it himself, and he put the lyrics over top of it. The lyrics are nothing special, they're just fairly generic country lyrics. But what makes the song unique is its blend of country with rap. So the song takes a lot of country cliches and tropes and raps them and puts them to a backing beat that kind of mixes country music with typical rap music backing tracks. There's a really great quote from the TV show The Office, in which Robert California, when he's describing the Black Eyed Peas, says, "It's rock and roll for people who don't like rock and roll. It's rap for people who don't like rap, and it's pop for people who don't like pop." I would say Lil Nas X's Old Town Road is rap for people who don't like rap and country for people who don't like country. That's why it's so popular. It goes right down the middle lane and gives a little bit of everything to everyone, and so everyone can find something to enjoy in it. But at the same time, the song itself isn't super deep lyrically. The music is kind of a little bit generic. It just kind of blends a little bit of two genres, cliches from both of them, and there's nothing inherently special about it. The only reason I would say it's stayed so popular is because the artist has made such an effort to keep it in the public eye, using things like remixes, memes. The song itself debuted at 83 on the Billboard Top 100, and it took a while for it to climb to #1. It only became popular in the public eye because Lil Nas actually created memes and things like that in order to try and get it popular on social media. Eventually, one of the memes on TikTok took off with the Yeehaw challenge, and suddenly everyone knew about it, and everyone was listening to it, and everyone heard it, and everyone decided that they loved it, even though it's not that amazing. So why are these two artists so incredibly popular right now? Neither of them is, in my opinion, inherently cringy or terrible, but at the same time, neither of them is incredible or that incredibly gifted from what we've seen. I'm sure they both do have genuine talent, and it does shine through in their music, but I don't think either of them is this generation's version of the Beatles. So what is it about these two artists that has made them so massively popular, especially with younger audiences? I would say it's because they're different. Because the music industry nowadays, especially pop music and country music, have become so generic and oversaturated with song after song after song about the exact same thing. The market has become so oversaturated that everyone just sings about the same things because they know it can make money, and not a lot of effort is put into the music. itself. The backing track is pretty much always very simple, it's very generic. It doesn't really change throughout the song or get better or different. It just kind of is there. What makes Old Town Road and Billie Eilish's music in general stand out isn't the fact that it's good, it's the fact that it's something unique in the midst of a sea of songs that are all exactly the same. I think that eventually the hype over Billie Eilish and Lil Nas will die down, especially once more people come into the industry who start to copy them. But for now, both of them are enjoying massive success, and I wish them the best on it, you know? If you can find something that makes you a lot of money and gains you a lot of popularity, good on you, go for it. I don't hate Billie Eilish or Lil Nas X. I don't hate their music. The only reason I find their songs annoying when they come on in public is just because of people's reactions to it. It annoys me when people act like their songs are incredible, but in my opinion, I would say they're not. They're just different, and that's okay.